Look, I told you, I don't want you all coming up here to see me.
I don't care what you tell me, okay?
I'm trying to get through this, and you're just making it harder.
You think you're the only one doing time, Derek? You think I'm not in here with you?
He was his mother's hope.
He's gone. You don't know the world your children are living in.
His father's legacy.
It's everywhere I look now.
What?
This affirmative black shit.
The white man marches on!
See this? That means not welcome.
And his brother's hero.
I trust you, Derek.
Drop your weapon! Right now!
All that anger, all that hate.
Has anything you've done made your life better?
Derek Vineyard was released from Chino early this morning.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Too big to give me a hug?
Oh, it's good to see you. Check this out, man.
When'd you get that?
What?
Well, I came to talk about Danny. He's headed right where you are.
What's wrong with you?
Let the kid alone. He thinks the joint messed with your mind.
Did.
I'm asking you to do whatever's in your power.
You know what you can do? You can get me shot by a bunch of white boys.
I am out, and Danny is out too. And if you come near my family again,
I will feed you your heart.
What's happening, Dad?
I don't think you realize what's been going on here. We are 10 times what we were.
They're after you, man.
they're gonna come for me. They're gonna come for me. There ain't nothing I can do. Hey, Danny!
Shoot it!
I love you, and you're my best friend. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I need you to understand.
So look around you. This isn't our fucking neighborhood. It's a battlefield. We're on a battlefield tonight. Make a decision. Are we gonna ante up and do something about it? Oh, yeah! You're goddamn right we are.
Heartbreaking, important, inspiring, horrible. A mixture of words which contrast each other that could all be used to describe American History X. It's an unrelenting, controversial work of art that to this day sparks conversation. A film which to some feels more relevant now than ever.
You will not replace us!
A film which taps into the rage felt by the fringes of society. To mark its 20th year anniversary, we will be exploring the not so infamous story behind the scenes. It all starts with David McKenna. He drew from real life experiences of growing up amongst the violent punk rock scene. He even went as far as to interview real neo-Nazis to attempt to understand their racial views. In an interview, he said, "I saw a lot of bigotry growing up, and it made me think about writing something about the world of hate mongers." The script this controversial arrived at quite a thunderous decade, the 90s. The Rodney King beating and subsequent riots had sparked further conversations about racism. Creating a piece of art so edgy in its willingness to explore the underbelly of American society was an even bolder move, and would eventually face a backlash. Miraculously, the studios picked up McKenna's screenplay. New Line enlisted Tony Kaye to direct it, an eager filmmaker who had been waiting 14 years to direct a feature. Prior to the film, he had been the most respected commercial filmmaker of his time. He was so happy with the prospect that he took the contract to a synagogue to have it blessed. I signed it in front of the rabbi. I thought it would make it good. The last piece of the puzzle involved the casting, namely which actor would play Derek. Joaquin Phoenix was first considered, but he quickly turned the role down, labeling the subject matter too offensive. The studio instead supported Edward Norton, fresh off of his most recent commercial and critical breakthrough, and nominated for an Oscar. He was at the peak of his career. Edward is a fantastic actor. I think he's technically brilliant, but he doesn't have that physicality and that anarchic emotion that was required for American History X. New Line gave Kaye several weeks to find someone better, and he couldn't. After endless dieting and training, Edward came back, a transformed man. Finally, production could begin. Production itself ran smoothly. Kaye was also the cinematographer and gave his actors space to explore the roles how they saw fit. I think of myself as an actor primarily in the scene. I'm not in the scene, but my camera is, and I operate the camera myself when I shoot. I never really tell an actor what to do. I might encourage them to turn left or turn right, but I never get in the way. The infamy arrived in post-production. Kay edited the first rough cut of the film, a swiftly paced 95-minute picture which he believed to be complete according to his vision. New Line thought differently. Upon receiving pages and pages of notes from New Line and his producers, and even Edward Norton, Kay was overwhelmed. After throwing a hissy fit, he was barred from entering the editing suite. The film was now left entirely in the hands of Jerry Greenberg and Edward Norton. What was even worse was how Norton had allegedly cut the film to give himself more screen time. He was obsessed with his image, obsessed with screen time. Someone who used his time in the cutting room to beef up his own part, who had stabbed Kay in the back, despite having been given the chance to do his best ever screen work. Kay could no longer recognize his own film. I was so staggered by what he was doing to my film that I punched the wall and broke my hand. It doesn't end there. The Toronto International Film Festival offered a prime slot for the film until Kay flew in to get it removed. This action alone probably halved the total box office revenue. New Line went nuts. It would have been a perfect launchpad for the movie, and I shot it down in flames. New Line head Mike DeLuca felt that he was protecting a child from an abusive parent, except that the child is our movie and the parent is its director. After all that, Kay's next move was to attempt to remove his name from the film. Unfortunately for him, the Directors Guild ruled against his idea, as he had already publicly criticized the film. Upon receiving the news, he filed a case against the Guild for inhibiting his freedom of speech, wanting to sue for $200 million. But the case was swiftly dropped.
We got a full hour to go. This is Larry King, live.
Kay would eventually go on to befriend Hollywood's original problem child.
We'll come back with Marlon Brando. There's lots of other things to talk about.
I'm leaving now. It doesn't matter what he says.
No, and we're going to take
Marlon Brando. It was in their conversations that Kay revealed how truly unhinged he was. Because he couldn't remove his name from the film, he wanted to go by the name of Humpty Dumpty. He was even willing to get his name legally changed. "You're going to officially change your name to Humpty Dumpty," said Brando, laughing. "That's damn good." I had immersed myself in books about military strategy, and I got it into my head that I could arrange attacks on theatres that were showing the movie. One idea that almost came to fruition was to send a posse of demonstrators along to barricade the doors and prevent the audience from getting in. I was on a mission. The making of American History X is a lesson in personal conviction, how the strive for perfection can lead artists down a road of lunacy. Who knows what American History X would be like if Kay had his way? What we do know is that whether he likes it or not, he, not Humpty Dumpty, nor Alan Smithee, is responsible for one of the boldest films in existence. Kay's fearlessness in directing luckily was put to good use. Here's to Tony Kay, the crazy mastermind that he is.